Episode 4, The Indus Valley, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, The Forgotten Cities. In the silence of time, long before the pyramids cast their shadows over Egypt, a quiet valley shimmered between two ancient rivers, the Indus and the Ghaggar-Hakra. It was not a land of pharaohs or kings, nor of wars or conquests. It was a land where ordinary people built an extraordinary world, one of balance, order, and peace. We know it now as the Indus Valley Civilization. Thousands of years ago, around 3300 BCE, the monsoon rains carved rivers of silver across the plains. Those who settled here learned the rhythm of water and earth, how to sow when the river swelled, how to rest when it retreated. Villages grew along the fertile banks, Mehrgar, Kodiji, Kalibangan, each whispering the same dream, to live in harmony, not domination. Their hands shaped clay into homes, their hearts shaped peace into culture. From the humblest farmer to the careful builder, everyone played a part in something that would outlast them all. As centuries passed, these villages merged into cities. Two of them, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, would become jewels of the ancient world. Their streets formed perfect lines, wide, measured, mathematical. Their drains ran beneath the ground, carrying waste away so that the city above could stay pure. Each home had a private well, a courtyard filled with light and baths of smooth brick, signs not of wealth, but of equality. No other civilization of that age cared so deeply about the dignity of daily life. These were not cities of fear or hierarchy, but of discipline and community. They did not need towers to touch the sky. They built roads to touch each other's lives. Life inside a Harappan home. Morning sunlight filtered through clay lattices, painting golden shapes on the walls. A mother poured water from a terracotta jar, her son grinding grain on a smooth stone. The air carried the scent of baked bread and wet earth. Merchants outside loaded bullock carts with copper tools and bright beads. Children followed, laughing, while elders greeted each other at the well. At dusk, families gathered on rooftops to share stories as oil lamps flickered like stars below. In those simple rhythms, work, laughter, rest, lay the heartbeat of a civilization that sought beauty in the ordinary. Their greatness wasn't carved in monuments, it was lived in every humble home. If you could walk their streets, you would not hear drums of war or shouts of soldiers. You would hear the rhythm of potters shaping clay, the laughter of children playing with terracotta carts, the gentle splash of water echoing from a bathhouse at dawn. There were no kings carved in stone, no empires demanding blood. Just the quiet hum of a society that had learned that peace itself was strength. Trade bound them to faraway lands, Mesopotamia, Persia, Oman. Caravans crossed deserts, ships sailed the Arabian Sea. They carried cotton so fine, ivory so smooth, and lapis lazuli so blue it mirrored the heavens. But the greatest treasure they shared was not gold or grain, it was knowledge. Through trade they spread order, the idea that civilization could be clean, fair, and kind. And then there were their words. Tiny seals of stone and clay, carved with symbols that no one today can read. 400 signs repeating like whispers across time. No one knows what they said. Were they merchants' marks? Prayers to unseen gods? Names of forgotten poets. The Indus script remains a language locked in silence, the diary of a civilization whose voice was lost, but whose soul endures. Unlike other great kingdoms, they did not build pyramids to touch the heavens or statues to glorify rulers. Instead, they built the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, a vast pool lined with baked bricks and sealed with bitumen. It was not for luxury, but for purity. Each morning, perhaps at sunrise, citizens descended its steps, cleansing body and spirit. It spoke of a belief not in power, but in balance. Their goddess was not of war or wrath. She was fertility, life, and peace. Even in worship, they sought harmony with the world around them. Unlike other great kingdoms, they did not build pyramids to touch the heavens or statues to glorify rulers. Instead, they built the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, a vast pool lined with baked bricks and sealed with bitumen. It was not for luxury, but for purity. Each morning, perhaps at sunrise, citizens descended its steps, cleansing body and spirit. It spoke of a belief not in power, but in balance. Their goddess was not of war or wrath. She was fertility, life, and peace. Even in worship, they sought harmony with the world around them. Their science was quiet but brilliant. Every brick followed a sacred ratio, 1:4, used across thousands of miles. Their weights were exact cubes of stone, identical no matter where they were found. Their artisans cast bronze, polished gold, and shaped beads so small they could fit through a needle's eye. They measured time not by kings, but by the turning of seasons. Each year, another chance to build, to balance, to be better. But even the strongest walls cannot hold back the hand of time. Around 1900 BCE, the rivers shifted their course. Floods came and went, droughts followed. The fields that once shimmered with crops turned to dust. The people began to move eastward, not defeated but drifting, carrying their knowledge toward the Ganges plain. There was no great fire, no invasion, no cry of war, only a slow fading like the light of a setting sun. Centuries passed. The sands buried their homes, the winds erased their names. For thousands of years, no one spoke of Harappa or Mohenjo-Daro. But in 1922, a British archaeologist uncovered a brick, then a wall, then an entire forgotten city. The earth had been holding its secret close until it was ready to speak again. Rediscovery in 1922. Thousands of years later, in 1922, a young archaeologist brushed away layers of dust in what is now Pakistan. Under the blazing sun, he uncovered a single brick, then a wall, then a street running straight into history. For the first time in 4 millennia, the Indus Valley spoke again. As the excavators worked, they found pottery intact, drains unbroken, and streets aligned with impossible precision. The silence of centuries gave way to wonder. How could a people so ancient have lived with such order? Every discovery felt like shaking hands with ghosts. Architects, traders, mothers, children, their stories still preserved in the earth that once held their dreams. When night fell over the dig site, the archaeologists lit lanterns, their glow dancing over ancient walls, and the valley seemed to whisper, "We were here, and we lived in peace." Today, when we look at those ruins, straight streets, clean drains, quiet homes, we see something more than ancient architecture. We see discipline without tyranny, faith without fear, knowledge without pride. We see a people who believed civilization was not about ruling others, but understanding oneself. Their world fell, yes, but their lesson remains. Because every drain, every brick, every seal they left behind whispers one truth. Human greatness begins not with conquest, but with cooperation. If we listen closely, the Indus still speaks. In the flow of every river that gives life, in the quiet moments when peace feels stronger than pride. They were not forgotten after all, only waiting for the world to remember what true civilization means. Their story doesn't end here. Far to the east, as the Indus Valley faded, another light began to rise, a land of invention, silk, and philosophy. where wise men studied the stars and emperors sought harmony between heaven and earth. It was the dawn of a new chapter, the rise of China. This was the story of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, the forgotten cities of the Indus. Their spirit flows on, and their lesson awaits those who seek balance in the chaos of the modern world.